Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making this super cute roll-up farmer's market tote. It's perfect for summer. Let's do it. So I've got two matching fat quarters here. So they're 18 by 21 inches. And then I've got two straps that are 4 inches by 20 inches. You're also gonna need a button and an 8-inch piece of elastic. This is just 1/4 inch elastic that I had. We're gonna work on the straps first. So I am ironing them in half wrong sides together, and then I'm going to open it up and fold the bottom edge up to meet that center fold. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the top, just down to meet that center fold. You're gonna do this with both straps. I prefer this method because I hate turning them right side out. So I'm just gonna fold it in half one more time so I don't have any raw edges, and then I'm going to top stitch down both sides. This is just an 1/8 inch down on both sides, and for both straps they will look like this when you're done. Now I'm doing an optional step of some applique on one side. I just made a little template and I'm doing a zigzag stitch to put this little apple on. You don't have to do that, but I thought it was a fun touch. You're gonna take the fat quarters, and this is my 18-inch side and this is my 21-inch side, and you're gonna put them wrong sides together because we're not lining this tote. We're gonna do a French seam so that we don't have any raw edges on the inside. So put them wrong sides together first. I know this goes against everything I've ever told you, but I will show you how it works out. So get them nice and lined up, and then we are going to do a 1/4 inch down both sides and the bottom, and we're gonna leave the top open. And just take your time going around. I'm just doing a 1/4 inch like I said. Make sure you're leaving your needle down, picking up your presser foot and pivoting the fabric at the corners so you get it nice and sharp and pointy. And then we are going to cut our seam allowance in half. Just be really careful, don't cut your threads, because we are going to flip this wrong side out, and we are going to do a French seam, which is hiding a seam within a seam. Make sure all of your edges are really nice and lined up, and then we're gonna do a 3/8 inch seam along the inside. Since we cut that seam in half and we're doing a 3/8 inch seam, this will hide that seam within this seam, and you won't have any raw edges on the inside, and it will all be covered on the outside. Once that's done, we are going to mark a 2 by 2 square on the bottom edge. So make sure you're not doing this on the top, and you're gonna do it on both corners, and you're gonna cut out that square so that we can make this a flat bottom bag. So go ahead and clip that together, and we're gonna sew the right side first so we can still do that French seam on the bag. So I'm doing a 1/4 inch on the outside fabric, and then I'm going to flip it wrong side out and do the 3/8 inch seam on the inside of the fabric. Once you have that done, it will look like this. Now we have to attach the straps, so I'm folding down the top edge a 1/2 inch, and I'm just pressing it with the iron, and I'm gonna line up my straps 4.5 inches from the outside. So both of those are 4.5 inches away. And then I'm going to roll it down another 1/2 inch and then just kind of pin everything in place. I'm also gonna go ahead and put the elastic on the side where I didn't do my applique. It doesn't really matter, it's just preference. This is what you're gonna have. It's all folded under there on both sides. Make sure your straps are even. And then I'm just going to stitch along the bottom of this first. So about 1/8 of an inch away, I'm just starting on a corner or a seam. That's what I like to do. And then I'm just doing along the bottom all the way around the bag. And then once we're done with that, we're going to flip up the straps and the elastic and then stitch along the top. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm flipping up the straps and just clipping them in place. I'm going to do this with the elastic as well, so everything like is outside, and we're just going to top stitch an 1/8 inch around the top. That's what I'm doing here, just all the way around. And then lastly, all we need to do is add on the button. So on the same side as the elastic, you're gonna put your button about 3 to 4 inches down. And I'm just using a zigzag stitch on my machine to attach this on. And this little guy is all done. I'm just showing you how to fold it up here, fold up the bottom, fold in the outer edges once, and then we're gonna fold them in twice so that the button is in the middle, and then I'm just going to roll it up from the bottom, and then you'll just pull the elastic around and then put it around the button when you get it all folded up. I think this project is super cute, very beginner friendly, and you can just toss this in your bag and have it available whenever you kind of run up on a farmer's market in the summer. Super cute. Let me know if you try it and let me know if you have any questions.